So this is going to be the July 2023 reading for the sign of Taurus. So anyone with prominent Taurus placements in your birth chart, thank you so much for being here. I am going to go into the astrology just a little bit and cover the full moon and new moon energy for the month of July, just to get an overall theme of the topics that will be coming up this month. But if you're not too interested in listening to that portion, I'm starting to timestamp the videos. So that way, if you only want to go into the tarot part, you can just click on the timestamp for the tarot portion and it'll take you straight into that part of the reading. Otherwise, if you are interested in more astrology, check out the weekly readings that I put out for each element, where I do break down the astrology week to week. So instead of cramming it all into one video, I am breaking it up by week in those readings. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel so that way you can catch those videos. And of course, like the video today, if you were able to gain any perspective or insight on today's reading, I would really appreciate it. So we're going to start with the full moon. So every year during Cancer season, the full moon is always in Capricorn and the new moon is always in Cancer. So July 3rd, the full moon will be in Capricorn, and here it sets the tone for the month, and it's giving us the overall theme of July, which is really thinking about what is important to us and what we truly value. Since it is a cardinal earth sign, it's asking us to make sure that wherever we are investing our time, our energy, our effort, even our resources and our money, like, what are we gaining from that? And are we seeing any results? It's a very work-oriented energy. It's a very results-oriented energy. It does not like to waste. So if you're wasting energy and time, if you're wasting money and resources on something that doesn't, once again, matter, right? Like, we're looking at what is really important to us this month. If we determine during this time of the month that what we are working on isn't adding any overall value, isn't adding to the quality of our life, then there's an opportunity for us to course correct here and sort of change up where our priorities are, so we can make sure that we aren't, again, wasting anything, especially time, energy, money, and resources on things that don't really matter, right? So once again, we need to make sure that we're seeing results for the work that we're putting in. July 17th, which is sort of mid-month, this is when the new moon happens, and the new moon will be in Cancer at this time. So every time we have a new moon, it is sort of allowing us the opportunity to start something and plant a seed in some way. It's a more initiating, beginning type of energy. And with it being in the cardinal water sign of Cancer, we are looking at emotional fulfillment here. Sort of what is lighting up our soul, right? Like, what is our soul telling us? What is our heart telling us? Usually this also brings up concepts around family, especially the mother, or you being a parent, your children, more often than not. And what we are emotionally connected to, what is emotionally important to us. Our home will also be playing a role here in some way. So investing time, energy, once again, with that full moon concept of, the Capricorn energy of, what is really important. During mid-month, we are probably going to see that home and family are important and are at sort of the forefront as it relates to our priorities during this time. The same day, on July 17th, the nodes of the moon change. So the nodes of the moon stay in a certain part of the zodiac for 1.5 years. So we are coming out of them being in the Taurus-Scorpio axis, and we are going into the north node moving into Aries and the south node moving into Libra. So here for the next 1.5 years with the north node in Aries, it's going to create I want to say like a direction. With the north node, it's always something to work toward. It's a more future type of energy where, we are in this present moment and whatever we are investing in or whatever direction we're going, it's like, here is the path that we need to move toward. And the South Node is really what we need to leave behind. And so with the North Node being in Aries, what we are moving toward is embracing individuality and sort of seeing or thinking about the I am concept, right? Like, who are you? Who am I? Who are we as an individual, separate from relationship dynamics? So I'm not saying that people are going to be getting divorced and breaking up all over the world for the next year and a half, although that may happen more than normal, just because we are going to be embracing, once again, that individuality. And anything that is codependent, or those codependent type of relationships, will probably be fizzling out, since we are going to have this sort of energy flow of independence coming through, and needing to do something on our own for ourselves, right? Away or aside from needing to depend on others in some way. So sometimes, you know, as people, right, we have support groups. We have our support system, which is usually like our close circle of people, whether it's your family, your friends, something like that. And, you know, we sort of consciously or subconsciously count on their perspective or their opinion or their, you know, like even them just supporting us, like moral support, like needing that motivation from others in order to really get started or get moving on something. With the North Node in Aries, we're not going to be really needing opinions or permission, in a sense, from others. It's just what we are doing, right? Like, we know what we need. We know what our soul is asking us to do. It's probably going to be something new that we, you know, so far in the course of our life have not really attempted to do yet. And so therefore it's a deep yearning to do something for ourselves, by ourselves, and not needing the support system, I guess. Not to say that you are going to leave these social dynamics or these, you know, family dynamics. I'm not saying that. It's not a personal energy, right? It's personal in the sense that you need to do it for yourself, but it's not because, you know, you need to get away from others, if that makes sense. So it's not personal to anyone else. It's personal to you and only you. And so for the next year and a half, there will be those concepts coming through in some way for us. And I'm sure that more talk around the nodes will come through as they aspect different planets throughout the next year and a half. So depending on those moments, if it's going to come into contact with like a major player, a big planet or something like that, then, you know, we will be feeling that more than other times, if that makes sense. All right, so that is the astrology portion for the month of July. And let's go into the personal energy for Taurus for July. So let's start with the tarot reading. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. For July 2023. I've done a lot of readings today, so my throat is a little scratchy. I hope it lasts, like my voice lasts throughout this reading. Taurus, 2023, please. One more. Yeah, these cards feel hard, like stiff. Okay, let's flow with it here. What is the energy? Same card that I showed you. The 10 of Wands. Something feels hard. Something is challenging. You don't want to do something. You don't want to be a part of something. You feel like you need to get away from something, but it does feel like even the getting away part is hard enough on it, like on its own, not to mention whatever it is that you feel you need to get away from. So it does feel really stiff and stuck. What else is coming through for Taurus, please? Queen of Cups. This is more emotional energy. So you may be, since this is your personal energy, you may be a little bit more sensitive to your environment right now, or for the month of July. I don't know if there is just a lot on your plate, like a lot on your shoulders, and you are, it does give a feeling of like being a little just like burnt out. Like usually this queen can take a lot of energy from others. Usually this queen, like her heart and her soul, and this could be he or she, but her heart and her soul are pretty strong, like strong enough to take on the world, right? Because she's the empath. She is like, that's the type of queen she is. Out of all the 4 queens, she's the emotional, empathetic, compassionate, nurturing, motherly type. And so therefore, you know, she takes on the challenges of the world type of feeling. But the way she's coming through at this point, it's like, take it from me. Like I don't want to do this anymore. There's a sense of needing to get out of a harsh environment, of a, like I said, it just feels like there's some heaviness here. There's some dense energy that just needs to like break through and sort of flow into the ethers in some way. This could be in your work environment, just because the 8 of Pentacles is here. If it's not, then it is just something that you know you need to start working on. You're probably, you know, starting to be more connected to your heart and your soul and what it's asking of you. Therefore, you need to leave certain situations and certain environments. Yeah, for the sake of like following your higher self. Like there's an element of knowing what you need. It's just a matter of doing the work to get what you want or what you need, basically. Which with the 8 of Pentacles here, I mean, it does talk about work. Like there's work to be done here for the month of July around these concepts of, you know, just following your heart, following your path, following your soul, getting out of these burdensome types of situations, sort of like breaking free in a way. What is in the environment for the Taurus for July, please? Yep, you have courage, strength. You have another queen here, which is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is more of that Capricorn energy. And actually, this is the Cancer card. This is the Capricorn card here. So we are sort of on track, on the path, as it relates to the astrology. But in the environment, there's a need to be strong, and there's a need to have courage, and to really, like, once again, listen to your soul. And there's authenticity that has to come through here. And reverse roles is needed, of course. But with the Strength card, it's being brave enough to show up as yourself, as your full self, right? To be vulnerable even. And like by doing this, it does seem that in the environment, there's an element of showing your worth, showing what you bring to the table, having standards and expectations for yourself and for others as well, or from others as well. There's value, there's worth here. There's connection between the earthly element that you are and the watery element as well. So like your heart and your body, your internal and your external sort of being on the same page here and aligned. This Page of Cups is throwing me off. These are like strong, powerful energy coming through here with these cards, and then this page is like on its own here. I don't know what it's about. Usually the Page of Cups is about a new emotional connection. It's brand new. It's in the thought process. It is like if we're dealing with another person in the environment, this is like the getting to know process or yeah, part of the process. And it's like, you know, just sort of romantic or romanticizing a person or romanticizing a situation. It's like the head over heels type of energy, you know, when you first meet somebody that you really like, and that whole feeling of the butterflies and all of that stuff. There could be, just because the page is, and I don't know who I'm talking to, right? But just because the page is like if we're looking at ranking, okay, which I know that that's not like the best thing to do when you compare yourself or compare people. But if you're looking at ranking, this page is sitting next to a Queen of freaking Pentacles, you know, who is also sitting next to the Strength card here. Like, there's a sense of admiring. Maybe somebody is admiring you. But it doesn't feel very connected. Like, this queen knows her worth, and she knows who she is, and she has this immense power and strength. And I feel like he or she knows that maybe there are people who admire them. And it's more of just like, oh yeah, like, so what? Like, and like, of course you would admire me. You know, like, there's a little like there's some confidence coming through. Like, of course, if, you know, you would feel that. Of course you would see me like that. Like, look at me. Like, you know, like, do you know who I am? I don't know why I'm getting this. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to, like, come off wrong to anyone. This is a non-judgmental space. I am just picking up on the feeling. I am an intuitive reader. These cards impact me as I'm reading, and I feel them, okay? So this queen in another reading can come off completely different to me, but today she's coming off that way. Like, there is a high confidence level, almost like a haughty, I want to use the word haughty energy. How else can I interpret this? How else am I feeling this? These two are completely different energies, though. Like, your personal energy compared to the energy of your environment, completely different. Like, this person up here, whoever this is like connected to the universe. Like their priority is like their soul mission, their soul work, their energetic, their sensitivity, their emotion, their connection to all that is, you know, and really using those skill sets to get out of a heavy situation that they know is not good for them right now, and really thinking about what the priority is and what is really important that they have to work on in order to leave this situation. And they are building their stamina, they are building their strength. They're transmuting, using their energy, their emotions, and their sensitivity, which are their strengths, and transmuting that into the 3D world, the 3D realm in some way, to gain strength and stamina to be able to leave this situation. So this person is working on real shit, like real life shit here. This is, I don't know what this is. There's a need to have courage and bravery, yes. I don't know, it just feels surface level. It feels Superficial. That's the feeling I'm getting here. Superficial. I just don't know how I feel about this queen coming through like that. This person or this thing is not, if we're talking about that Capricorn energy, about what's really important, this energy here is like in la la land. Like, I don't know what dimension they're in or if they're on Earth at all. Like, there's superficiality here. There's a little bit of conceit. All right. Let's get more detail. Go into the beginning of July for the sign of Taurus, please. What is the energy for July, start of the month? Four of Cups. So you start off a little bored. A little lazy, a little bored. Just like heavy reflection, heavy thoughts. Not thoughts as in anxiety, unless other cards like that come through. But this is just more like not wanting to deal with the realities of the world. Feeling like you're let down also. There's like a bummer type of energy going. Like, that sucks. You know, that's not fun, or I'm bored, or just like no energy. The life source is like sort of depleted here. What is this? There's other people coming through at the beginning of the month. You're bored of people. You're over people. Like, nothing is interesting. There's communication. There's celebration here. I don't know if you're into celebrating right now. What else? Transformation, death, rebirth. Six of Cups. So, you may have Scorpio in your chart or know someone with Scorpio in their chart. And I never really call out the signs that much, but both of these are Scorpio cards. There's a need to transform this low energy level state that you're in right now. It feels like you're just deep in it. Like, maybe you're doing some shadow work. People do shadow work like unintentionally as well. Like, they don't even know that they're doing it, right? But if you're like in this place where you just don't want to be bothered, you're bored of things, but at the same time you feel a transformation happening, like you're uncomfortable, you're not satisfied, you're thinking of the past, you know, memories in the past are playing a big role at the beginning of July for you. And I don't know if you are trying to heal some past traumas here, as it relates to other people and how they have affected you or how you have affected other people. But there is a need to transform some of these memories. Like, if you are looking at memories that you're not too fond of or that have given you a bad experience or even traumatized you in a way, and you're thinking about them and sort of reliving them, that's great. Okay, that is like step one. But what are you going to do about it after that? Right? Like, are you just going to sit there and lay in your bed or lay on your sofa and think about these moments and then hope that at some point something happens that, you know, you snap out of it? Or are you going to take the opportunity while you're in this environment or in this energetic space to really work through them and heal them once and for all, right? As you are thinking about them, face it. Face these things and let it go. Release them, right? Like there's a healing that needs to happen here. There's a need to transmute some of this stuff into more positive healing, work. But there is an element from the past coming up. Whether, again, it is you reliving the past or an actual person from the past shows up. This could be, maybe something that's happening here with the environment. See what else comes through. I don't know. You may be like having conversations with people that trigger past experiences that you went through, and like really thinking like, why did that happen? Or really thinking like, actually, now that I think about it, that made me feel like shit. Or now that I think about it, from that moment on, I was never the same, right? Or now that I think about it, because that happened to me, I show up in life a certain way that does not add anything, that just like it, right? Like these traumatic moments. Like I'm trying to say that you can be in this energy, identify or speak about a memory, a negative experience, and sort of break it down and really think it through and come up with like an awareness around how it has affected you from that moment on, right throughout your life, which is essentially a part of this healing. There's a healing, a transformation that needs to take place here, and whether you know it or not, you could already be working on it. I would just advise not to let it be a passing moment and actually work with it and do something with it so you can heal it and release it, so it doesn't affect you as bad anymore. Two of Wands. There's a decision that you have made in the middle of the month that is coming through. Whoa, who had these? So someone had the Six of Cups here in this placement and these two exact cards in this placement. Is it the Aries? I want to say it's the Aries reading. If you have Aries in your birth chart, or like planets in Aries, you want to check that reading out maybe. And I just did that reading today, so the likelihood or coincidence of these cards falling in the exact same placements. What else? Taurus, 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 please, middle of the month. Yeah, so there's a choice. You have a couple options here. You need to make a choice, or a choice is being presented to you, and you're sort of weighing out the pros and cons. Once again, keeping with that full moon theme of what is really important here, trying to make the right choice for yourself. The Knight of Wands, going toward the thing that inspires you, going toward the thing that motivates you, and that you know, will spark some sort of passion or something. You have the Hierophant, which is your card. And just coming back to your authenticity, who you really are, what you really stand for. There's heavy reevaluation here. If you felt like you were getting away from yourself or your morals or your ethics or something like that, like you're coming back to that, or there's a need to transform your philosophy and those things about you. Like I want to say it's okay to, but it's also like something is stirring within you that like you were once a certain way, because Taurus is very self-aware, right? Like there is a high sense of awareness of oneself with the Taurus energy, and they are really like, they stand on their convictions and what they believe is true and right for themselves. Depending on the birth chart and other aspects will determine how much they push this right and wrong concepts onto others, but more often than not, they just know what's right for them, right? Like that they know to be true, that they can depend on, that will never change. Like who they are, what they stand for, right? And so it just seems as though you're sort of reevaluating certain parts of that, right? Like not to say that you are being fake, but more so like growth and maturity, right? Like going through the life path and maturing and elevating and stepping up and stepping into the next chapter and all of that. Like in a sense, we always pretty much have this like same way or character throughout our life, but we just mature it along the way, you know? And maybe this is a moment where that is happening for you. So there's like a sort of elevation or something like that. But with that comes a need to reevaluate certain parts of what you want for your life, for yourself, like the path that you're on. And like, do you still want these things that you have wanted before, that you have been working on? And if not, and if something else is calling to you and you have this need to like be passionate about something again and go towards something that is new and, you know, that brings more vitality and more energy toward your life and yourself, like you're thinking about that and going toward that, which may create a moment of transformation and changing some concepts about yourself that you have always had up until this point. So yeah, as a result, choices and reevaluating and weighing things out for the month of July, like that is coming through, right? What else for Taurus? Let's go into the end of the month energy. The 8 of Emotions, or the 8 of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles, the Lovers. So at the end of the month, it does seem as though you made a decision and you're walking toward it and walking simultaneously, walking away from something and walking toward something new that is bringing you more stability and independence. The Lovers, yes, it talks about a relationship, but it also talks about a choice. So whatever you've decided or you have made your choice about, like at the end of the month, it comes through here. And it's it does have to do with a more secure place, whether that is security on an external level, like your job, your home, you know, whatever outer environment that you're in, or more secure within oneself, or both, right? Like whatever choice is made, it's for the sake of being whole and feeling stable and feeling secure and feeling strong. And there's something about the Lovers here. I don't know if this is like more relationship oriented. It could be just because we have a court card coming through here. So the Queen of Swords is coming through. So we have 3 different queens. This queen is very clear. There's truth here. This queen brings forth truth and clarity. Very insightful. She is very in control of her thoughts and her emotions And she does not allow like any type of, how can I say, like distractions to really impact her or impact her decision making or the path that she's on. Like she always knows what is right for her. She could be quiet, she could be distant, but she is looking in, which tells me she's looking toward, inward. She's not looking away. So there is a level of interest here. I don't feel the same with these two queens. Like there's just a weirdness that I feel with this queen over here. But we can see, if this decision that has presented itself to you, like this choice, this opportunity to make a choice, has anything to do with a person, it does feel as though this type of person is coming through here. Or maybe this person needs to make some sort of decision. But let's get some more clarity. There's a message coming through with this one. There's some sort of, and all the cards just fell. There's some sort of communication that wants to come through. I want to get more about this bottom row, and I want to get more about this as well. And if I have to, I'll go into here. Let's talk about this bottom row. What is the Lovers and the Queen of Swords trying to tell us? Whoever it is, again, there's truth here. Jeez. Oh, there's a pair. So the King and Queen of Swords are a pair. So you are trying to, whether this is an actual person or a concept of a person, you're choosing connection. Okay, you're choosing to come into contact with somebody that is of your match. Okay, what else? More swords energy. So yes, like I said, there's a message, there's communication coming through heavy here with this, between you and this other person at the end of July. These cards were, the cards at the beginning of the reading were really hard. Now they're like a little wild. This conversation is something that you've been wanting with another person to happen. And the Lovers again, you feel like this is a destined type of energy here between you and this person. The Lovers coming through is just validating the fact that this is probably some sort of romantic situation coming through at the end of the month with someone that is like ideal, that is someone you've been wanting, or a type of person that you've been wanting to meet. And there is an element of synchronicity, coincidence, destiny. There's an element of the universe pushing you in a certain direction so you can come into contact and take advantage of this opportunity. If that makes sense. This lady's out. What else? I don't know if I need to clarify anything else here. Yeah, like there's decision making, choices, something that inspires you again, being more authentic to yourself, walking towards something that you really, really want, that'll make you feel stable, secure, you know, grounded, in a really good place financially, emotionally, like all the things. The Nine of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards because it relates to, you know, just sort of having it all together and really creating a nice, stable environment, like inward and outward, right? And then this comes through. So what is this then? If this is talking about the environment, let's go into what the environment is. And does Taurus need to know anything about this? There's the Three of Cups again. So people. There's an ending here. So it's still weird to me, this energy. Yeah, like low superficial stuff. This is toxic behavior. Same page. A Taurus at their highest vibration is powerful. Okay, there's depth, there's density, there's like, this is the solid, fixed earth sign. Okay, so it is the more earthly earth sign, if that makes sense, because there's density here. So there's power, earthly power, like Gaia power, right? That sort of soars through your blood and your bones and your soul, you know? There's like earthly god, earthly goddess, like a Taurus at their highest, like knows their worth, but doesn't act like this. Like this is like, yeah, like conceited, like bow down to me, like I don't know, it's just weird. Anyway, so what I was trying to say is a Page of Cups cannot make it through a moment with a high level Taurus. Like this person is like, and maybe that's what it is, like maybe this Page of Cups is too superficial or something, and they're coming through like with nothing, basically. You know, just this like childlike admiration, or like there's lack of depth, there's lack of like, there's nothing of substance, nothing of experience, of like authentic trueness coming through this person. So for them to have the audacity to come, you know, in front of a high vibing Taurus person, maybe that's why this Queen is coming off like that to me. It's like, are you kidding me right now? You know, like this is what you're coming with, you know, like why are you wasting your time, type of thing. What else? Knight of Wands. They're only coming with passion. They're very impulsive, and they don't think before they act. They're just very instinctual and impulsive. And then more repeating cards here. The Empress. Yeah, so there's someone in your environment that's just like kid-like, you know, like high school love, or you know, this like charming type of person that is sort of just inexperienced, and I don't know, it's just a little yucky. I hope that you don't give this person any energy. Like let them be and go off on their own journey and go through experiences to harden them up, and to, you know, they need to mature. They need to grow up, basically. They need to grow up. And I think that it's going to take some courage out of you to not indulge this person and not entertain this person, not welcome in because you're bored. You have shit to do, Taurus. You know, like for a better, like if you are a Taurus that is looking for relationship, for love and all of that, and the possibility of your match coming through here, this is not going to happen if you entertain this shit. And it's definitely not going to happen if you don't work through some of this trauma stuff, because you're not going to be ready for this. You're not going to be in a clear, like, truthful, authentic state to be able to meet a queen like this head to head, right? Like level, at the same level that this person is on. If you're coming with baggage, if you're coming with unhealed trauma, if you're coming with like mess, emotional mess, you don't want to do the work, you want to stay bored and entertain this because it's easier, you're not going to get this. It's, once again, reevaluating your priorities, what is really important to you. And usually, when it comes to the things that are really important, there's a level of fucking work that needs to be done, right? Like, you can't just expect there to be, like, everything handed. And I'm not saying that you are, but there's a resistance to do some of this work. And if this person is coming up, it means that they are playing some sort of role. Like, if you didn't care about this person in some way, they wouldn't even be showing up in the reading. It would be irrelevant, okay? Like, there is a temptation to play with this, but you would be stooping down to a lower level. And I don't know if that matters to you or not. Like, standards. Have some standards. You know, not just for others, but for yourself. But hopefully you are doing the work and you want to do the work. And, you know, the end goal is important to you. And with this transformative process, with this healing process, will bring opportunity, not just for a romantic situation, but also to be in a more stable place, you know, externally as well, like with your money, your home, your assets, stuff like that. It's just like, stay strong and connected to your higher self, to your heart, to your soul. Do the work. Get out of this gray area. It's not going to be the funnest thing. It's not going to be the easiest thing, but it'll make you stronger and more powerful at the end of it. But yeah, that is what I have for you today, Taurus. I hope you liked it. I hope you gained something out of it. If you did, please like the video. I would really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Look out for your rising sign and your moon sign or your partner's sign. I am halfway done with the zodiac readings for July, so I am still going to be working on those throughout the weekend. And so check those out. And I really appreciate your time and energy. Have a wonderful month of July, and we'll see you the next time.